character.
Oh, wrong character. My bad.
Why is that not working?
Oh, hi, Mary.
Jacob says hi, Mary.
Hi, Jacob.
Mary says hi back. Star says hi, Mary. Mary says hi back.
Yay! I got a hello.
You have made Star's day
Yes.
because you said hi back.
Hi, Matt.
Yes.
Mary's cool, but she won't play a D&D with us. We've tried. It won't happen.
Because she's too cool for that.
No such thing.
Mostly dark.
Mary?
But it'll work out. It's ominous.
Onomatopoeia.
I need to close the
I'm a
window.
It's more like I'm eating ice cream. Deal with it. Oh,
Yeah, that's...
it's great.
Does that help? No.
No.
Well, close the shade if you need to.
Yeah, let's close the shade.
The shade is the one underneath. Let's just remember the window's open.
Oh, well, there. That's
Ah.
improving.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm to say, woo.
Balance.
Light off?
Ah.
Yeah, the light's a little glary in the back.
I'll get it.
I can't see anything.
I can.
I mean, I could see. I'm just confused. Are we supposed to see?
No.
Am I?
They're sharing their screen with us.
Oh, the screen. I see their camera.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not.
I see them.
Okay. Awesome.
Hey.
We should have everything except.
Owlbear.
Well, that for one, yes. And I left my notebook in my car, so I'm going to make a quick run, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
How dare
It's
you?
never a D&D
Don't
session
let
if we
the
don't start a
disturbance-
little
If you
bit
don't
behind.
forget something.
Yep, I'll be right back.
Alright.
We are never on time.
I probably will.
Well,
Like,
probably.
I will.
Okay.
You have puppy there. Puppy time.
That's not the dog.
Where's the dog? Where's the puppy?
The dogs are Jolene right now.
Mm. None of my pets are in my room today. They all did not want to come.
Blasphemy.
They're like, we need to chill out. You can go play D&D on your own today.
Yeah, there's usually like one or two here, but we got a new cat, and they're all like, you could take a picture of all 5 of my pets in the same picture.
Interesting.
They're just like a little colony almost.
It's like we gotta initiate the new guy.
That is very true. That is
It's
actually
like,
what they're doing.
he hasn't been here long enough, so he doesn't get the privilege of being by himself with you.
No, he has came by himself with me.
While playing D&D?
No, not while playing D&D.
So there you go.
Sarah?
That's him.
Yeah, you should stay over there.
I should have stayed over there.
That made the dog bark again. Betsy, come on. Oh, Betsy. You know,
No.
should have stood there and waited.
You connected to the internet?
Yep.
Oh, you're hotspotting too. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Hotel Wi-Fi.
It's
Yeah.
much more convenient to just do it that way. Okay.
Okay.
That should be everything. Yeah, I accidentally lost the whole thing of how to save catch in the car.
Mm.
It's kind of
Oh.
important.
I would
Well-
prefer
Just a
you
bit.
have that on hand.
I mean, I'm just reading a storybook. I hope that can save him. You know, just some good old good night, it's bedtime storybook. That's
Okay.
his book that he wrote.
All right. I suppose we can go ahead and begin then.
Let's go.
Yay.
When last
Let
we
us
left
begin
our
in the beginning.
heroes,
Mm.
battered, bruised, and sore, you hurried off from the wilderness, moving from Bowen Grove towards Alleg. You have found yourselves returning to the camp made by the Gith Kresh, where you have attempted to revitalize yourselves and organize your party. Healing Ketch from the strange affliction that beset him upon the detonation of an unusual arcane spell. From there, we have had Tsubaki continuing work on their violin, as well as learning the language of the Farkal, to which you have the feat in the document above. We have Zace helping out around town, meeting up with Mari, working on their personal effects right now. And we have Ketch, who is panicked, trying to figure out what he can do to restore the lost stone.
We're here to help.
And we have Zagra, who is interested in training with the Chroma Orbs, rescued from Rin's tower with the other Githzerai of the Kresh. And so I believe that...
Do you want?
I'm sorry?
I was about to say, does Zagra want the orbs that I took too?
How many do you have?
I believe I took 3.
I'll take 2. Donate the last one to the camp in general.
Okay. Because if you didn't end up wanting them, I was thinking about trading them back to for supplies for my violin making. So, like, if you want, take whatever you want, and I was gonna trade them back to the other people.
On second thought, actually, I'll take 1, and you could keep the other 2. That makes it.
Okay.
And then I'll have 2.
All right.
One of which is a shrunken head.
One of which is indeed a shrunken head. Okay. So, with that, we can go ahead and begin with Zagra, as you are... as your interest with the orbs has led you through to several of the other members here, they will... trying to find the right word, sorry. They will kind of begin the whole process of teaching you to make the first connection with them, to imprint your mind upon the orb itself. So, having worked with Svali before, she will kind of be the one to take you under her wing as the two of you have spent some time together, worked on this past mission, and yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
So, what would you guys? What would you like to do? How would you like to go about this?
Okay. I suppose daily training for as long as we're going to be here.
Okay.
Like from, let's say, afternoon to 5-ish.
Okay. That sounds absolutely doable. So a good amount of the first day is spent focusing, just honing your insight, honing your mind, just trying to get it to concentrate on what the orb is and how it works. Please go ahead and make your choice of investigation or sanity check.
Ooh, ooh.
Okay. They're the same.
Okay.
That is a 10.
Okay. So the orb itself, you've covered up a lot of it, but the actual silver surface itself, it's not perfectly smooth. There are cracks that run along it that just seem to go endlessly deep into it. And as you're kind of just tracing the patterns in your mind, you kind of get lost a little bit as you start wandering down into these different paths and patterns that just seem to go on endlessly. But nonetheless, you do end up feeling a coldness as the orb kind of is able to sit in your hand, as it is able to... It seems as though it is not an intelligent creature. It is not a creature at all. It is a tool, but it is open. It is impressionable.
Okay.
It's been a while since I actually had my first times training with this, but it's a slow progress. It's almost more of a handshake. The two of you, you reaching out to it, and it is always there to open up and to connect, but it's easy to get lost in the maze of it.
I understand.
And so just... it's less about seeing the elements of it and more about looking at it as a whole and getting it to attune to your will, so that eventually your thought and its action can become one and immediate.
All right.
And so she will kind of pull out the two orbs that she wields from her bag, kind of just hold them in her hand, and she closes her eyes for a moment, and you watch as the two of them kind of begin to rotate around in her palm without her moving the muscles of her hand, and then eventually slowly rotate up into the air, separating apart, and then just slowly back down. Once you can reach out and kind of tap into their network, they just... it becomes almost like a second arm, another hand, for manifesting your will upon reality itself.
That will take time.
Oh, yes, it's... the actual... you are actually holding some of the last ones. The practice of creating new ones has been lost to the ages, and there's a large supply out in the realms, but all that
I did not know that. And I made a shrunken head out of one.
It's always good to have a unique flair. Maybe stare it in the eyes and talk to it that way.
It's always nice to have hobbies.
So here, she kind of goes over. If you'll let, she'll kind of take it and set it kind of right there, sitting on a chopped log right next to the campfire, and just have it kind of set down and look towards you.
I stare it in the eyes.
Okay. Go ahead and make me another check. Same roll.
All right. That was worse.
Okay.
8.
8. Okay. You continue focusing on it, and there are points when it almost seems to thrum with energy, but at the same time, it could also be the breeze. Just nature around moving as you're kind of just trying to focus and meditate and center yourself and just clear your mind into this one task, into just looking into the orb, looking into its abilities. Here. She will, upon seeing that, like, after about probably 15-20 minutes of seeing that there's a bit of struggle and tension and strife, she will kind of pick it up and hold it, and then she will put down one of her orbs on the same place, and she's like, okay, maybe don't try and lift it so far right now, but just try and push it off the stump. Push it off the log.
All right.
Okay.
Same thing.
Yep.
You keep giving me
No.
4.
Okay. You reach out, and without the personal markers on this one, this orb, it seems completely blank. It's a vacant expression. While as the other ones seemed cold and still and inviting warmth, ready to take it in as a part of almost like this endothermic reaction, this one just seems metallic, sterile, empty.
Is this normal?
I mean, it takes... this is a practice that takes time. It's like any other tool, any other weapon. It's a balance of honing the mind and the body and being able to have those two work in accord with it. It's a third hand. It's an aspect of you that zips around the battlefield, around the realms, around space and time, apart from you, that you can instantly know everything about where it is. It's more than any other tool. It takes time. It's okay if you don't get it right away.
Okay.
Is there anything else you would like to do on this first day?
I think I'm good.
Okay. So kind of in this first period here, we had Tsubaki, who was working with the shards. Zace. Zace, what were you working on again? I'm sorry,
Wasn't I reading the book?
Right, yes, you were. Yeah. Yeah,
Storybook
you were reading
time.
Zace's spellbook. Sorry, not Zace.
Are you-
Ketch's spellbook. I am sorry, it's been 2 weeks and my mind slipped
Yeah.
and it all just came flooding back to me right now.
Hey, cool.
Okay. With that, I am willing to say that throughout this day, it kind of begins to flow forward, and the monotony of daily life kind of begins to take over as elements of this camp come to life and begin preparing food for later meals as the sun begins to set over the horizon, washing the sky in shades of reds and yellows and golds. Some additional members of the camp bring forth logs and build the fire higher, both for additional coals for cooking, but also just for warmth and light as darkness from the forest surrounds begins to pool inward like streams of silky shadows. As the day shifts to night, is there anything specific that you would like to do or work on aside from what you were working on previously?
Me, no.
No, here as well.
Okay.
I just want to keep reading. Keep
I
reading.
am.
And I'm just right there too.
Contemplating all the things I have going on, and that's about all I'm doing on my downtime.
Gotcha.
I'm just doing everything possible to keep Ketch safe.
Okay. So then, as you are in a generally safe location with several other individuals who are willing to help keep watch for the night, I am willing to say that the night passes without any cause of concern or event for you guys.
Okay.
And with that, the sun will rise up into the sky as a new day has begun. Tsubaki, first, you have been making checks to
I was
work on your
making
violin.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll me your choice of investigation, or do you have like thieves' tools or tinker's tools on you?
I have smithing tools,
No, that's
and that's it.
okay, that's a bit more brute force than what would be needed for kind of more meticulous fine craft.
I am proficient in sleight of hand.
Okay, that makes sense. Go ahead and roll me then a sleight of hand check.
All right. I got a 7.
7. Okay. You continue working with your designs of the blueprint, and you're kind of having a hard time balancing where these shards need to go with your current violin setup.
Yep. So I was thinking about it the other day, and you did get my message, right?
I did.
I'm refining what I'm doing, so I feel like I'm gonna be in search of ingredients
Okay.
because I feel like the shards by themselves are kind of unstable, and I feel like they need something to go with them to make it more even, I guess. Because I feel like I'm slowly turning this into a glass blowing project because it's a crystal violin.
Okay.
So I'm gonna be looking for materials.
That makes perfect sense, honestly. Okay.
Because I got most of it. The only things I'm looking for are glass. I wanted some bismuth in there because I was reading in some of the D&D lore, and bismuth has certain magical properties to it. So
Okay.
and then I wanted amethyst and emeralds as well.
Mhm.
And then I was like gonna crush everything up into powder, and then add them in equally, and then kind of I want to do a caster mold using my violin, make a cast mold
Ooh.
that I already have, just take it apart and do it in pieces and then put it back together.
Okay. Yeah.
I've really thought this out, so
Oh yeah.
yeah.
No, I am impressed, and yeah, that sounds absolutely doable. Go
'Cause
ahead and
yeah.
yeah. So you have proficiency with your smith's tools, and doing glass blowing and making molds and such would. I think that would definitely count in with that, since it's a lot of.
I also was looking through
kind of
my
forged.
racial traits. I have gnomish like cunning,
Okay.
and yeah. Well, I mean, some of the things in my gnomish stuff is kind of interesting, because I was like, I have proficiency in an advantage in intelligence, wisdom, and charisma saving throws against magic. I did not know this.
That is
I did
very
not-
useful.
That
I
would be
did
nice
not
to
know
have.
this.
That sounds very interesting.
And then I also can speak to small animals.
Oh,
I did not know this either. There are things I'm learning things about myself that I did not know.
All right.
So yeah.
All right.
So yeah, I've been going through some things and thinking about this recipe, I guess. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm looking for ingredients and refining, and that's what I'm doing.
Okay. So, smithing tools usually are a strength-based tool, but however, the way you're going about this, this is sort of like a by-the-books approach that I'm sure you've seen others do, you've learned from others in town, and you can get help with. So, go ahead and make a wisdom, um, a wisdom check with proficiency.
So what does that with proficiency? So whatever my plus is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
D20 plus your wisdom plus your proficiency modifier.
So and it's a wisdom check, right?
Correct.
Is what? Okay. All right. I got a natural 20.
Dang. Okay,
got a
that's
natural
gonna.
20. Plus one. Don't forget that.
That's an important detail.
That's nice.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So that will actually move you forward quite a bit, as you kind of get frustrated working with just the modification of your original violin and move towards your larger scaled glass blowing and forging process here to begin combining everything. You are able to, with some of the help of the Gith in the camp, to get a crucible up to wildly high temperatures, enough to melt different amounts of glass that you can find, as well as some sand in different fluxes, and you put in some of the echo shards, the smaller ones, to kind of begin to see what sorts of properties they have within them.
Okay.
What is the first part of your violin that you attempt to cast?
So I feel like the base, the entire body part is what I want first, because I feel like that's gonna be the most important,
Okay,
and it's gonna take the majority of resources. So
yes.
I can always substitute the neck and the rivets and all that stuff for wood pieces, but I feel like the crystal needs to be the main body.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. what are you making your molds out of?
So I have taken my current violin apart,
Okay.
and I've been making pieces using clay casting.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay,
And
yeah.
then I make it one piece at a time.
Yeah. With a natural 20, we can definitely work a lot of this together as you being able to move from one piece to the next to the next to the next with relative ease. I mean, due to the amount of effort you help you have here at camp and the effort you're putting in. So as you go to pour the base of this first mold, you pull the crucible out of the fire, and the crucible itself is like burning red hot. Everything on the inside seems to be this liquid soup of molten glass. And as you begin pouring this first bit into the base of the violin, you see that the echo shard that you had placed in there and tried to grind up is still pretty much entirely intact and solid.
So it hasn't melted down,
It
or
has not melted down.
okay. So I start thinking about the far call, right?
Yep.
So what if I decided to use a heat-based emotional note on one of the echo shards,
Okay.
just to see how it reacts? Does it get warm? Does it melt? What does it do?
Okay. How would you go about manifesting this heat-based note?
So I could whistle using just my lips. So, I think about it, and I think about the element of fire and kind of what does it mean?
Okay.
And I just pour an emotional note into this whistle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be a slightly higher DC, but go ahead and make me a performance check.
All right. I can perform. I can do this. Nice.
You got this.
I got 15.
Okay. As you whistle, you are able to reach out to the shard in a way, and you see, similar to how you did the song practice at the beginning of your time at this camp, you see the crystal kind of begin to warp a little bit on its surface. The different facets and the glass-like structure beginning to just kind of pulse and undulate slightly. It doesn't really break shape, perhaps. Each of the edges and lines are still incredibly visible and pronounced. But you're able to kind of get it to sort of morph in line with the cooling structure of the glass around it. So that it seems to almost be of one sheen for this initial pouring.
Okay.
As you see this, as you see it all kind of begin to pool together, it almost looks like a geode, where this is a glowing blue and black eye, just kind of existing within this glassy exterior. Almost like if you look at the planet Jupiter, it's just the red eye of the storm, but it's blue that kind of begins to fade out into the other areas of the glass that just streaks out with different bits of light.
All right. So it's sort of got in there, but like maybe not mixed evenly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It is very much a heterogeneous mixture, but it does seem to be
So-
a part.
Okay. So, would you say this was successful?
That's up to you to say. I can't say that.
Well, okay. What would you? Okay. Well. See, I don't know.
I do not exist in this world. I am merely a voice
Yeah,
facilitating its
yeah.
existence.
Ooh.
Okay, well, it exists. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unscrew my regular violin pieces, put it and adapt it to this, just to test it first, to see how this one does. If I have to, I'll just melt these parts back down and reuse them, and figure out a better way to do it. But
Okay.
yeah, so I'm gonna use the wooden pieces of my already existing violin, attach them to it, and then start playing a few notes here and there, just to see how it works out.
Okay, so the base of this violin is largely unfinished. It is rather rough, but you are able to pry it from your mold and begin putting it together and plucking at it, playing some different melodies. It does have a bit of this ethereal reverb, like this cosmic reverb to it, that you can kind of tap into. It, even though the actual body of the violin is solid glass as far as what you have poured so far, it does almost sound hollow and echoing, as you can kind of get these strange patterns to rotate around and swirl with different currents and eddies of the air within the actual chassis of the instrument.
Okay. All right. I don't feel satisfied with this one, so I'm going to put it aside and try again, because I feel like this one's not quite right.
Okay.
So, yeah, this one's not feeling as good as it could be to me. So, with the way it sounds and everything, it's like, oh, this sound is just not satisfactory at all.
Okay. From there, I suppose, who shall we turn to next? Who would like to jump in next?
If you'd like to go to Zace, I'd have no problem with that.
Okay.
I'm cool with that too. I mean,
Up to me.
Zace and Catch are kind of together, so either one. could go
Yeah.
for me.
Gotcha. Zace and Catch. As morning comes, there's a part of me that wants to have kind of the almost cheesy, sweet, like PG Disney Channel kind of movie where the two of you were staying up late at night, and like one of you fell asleep on the other, and the other's head is like rolled down on Mari, and the book is just kind of flopped open over one of your laps. But
I was actually gonna draw that.
Okay.
I'm gonna draw that. That sounds adorable.
Well, since you were saying you would like to draw that, I am willing to just make that canon.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. As morning comes and the dew kind of begins to roll off of you as the sun beams down warm light, how would you like to begin this day?
I don't know.
Catch at this point isn't even like getting up without other people telling him to. Catch is pretty much just like an inanimate object unless active.
Aww. This is. Oh, I'm not gonna wake you up. I mean, I guess. How far did I get through the book before falling asleep? Is it? What? words. How far did I get in the book? I think I don't know.
Go ahead and roll me a D100.
Whoa. Okay. I need to.
D10
D100.
twice. Pick which roll you want to be the tens place.
I was gonna use a D&D dice roller on mine.
That also
works.
works.
D&D. 1D100 go.
And it's
64.
probably
Mm-hmm.
Make my monsters grow.
I got a good old 64. I don't know. Did I get through 64 pages then?
I would say
know.
probably about 64% of what Ketch
Oh.
has gone through here. Ketch has a lot of notes, and like at some points it does become dense and obscure. And so some of those there's a little bit more utility of, some of there's a little bit less.
Okay.
But you have made your way through a rather cursory glance through about 64% of his spell book. Just looking
Okay.
for observations, insights, anything that could help you in this current situation.
And did any of it help?
Ketch, Jacob.
Yes.
Having reached this point in your book, what sorts of things has Zace discovered? What sorts of things have they learned? Have they seen? I mean, we were going through about 2 weeks ago, but once again, that was about 2 weeks ago. So
Yes. So at this point, you like the first, I'm gonna say 10% is pretty much all journal. Like it's a journal with notes kind of strewn about. After that, it starts getting more textbook and experimental, like more of a log or experimental log. And that's the next, like, I'd say 10%. And after that, that's when you start getting into spells. At around 25% of the way through, it pretty much becomes a regular spell book, save for small notes and margins and stuff like that. With that in mind, Ketch mentions shard, like crystal shard, a crystal shard, roughly at the pretty much the beginning pages, where he's talking about all of a sudden being able to think more clear. After that, there's a bunch of pages that are like ripped out, scribbled on, like hard to make out. Basically, there would be roughly 15 more pages worth of notes with journal entries, but they all got torn out. And that is when it starts getting more field guide-esque. Around the 20% of the way through as well is where you start getting a field guide a little bit of not just spells, but of safer, more nutritious things to eat in the wilderness, how to survive during rainy season without, getting your stuff, totaled. All that kind of thing.
as the narrator yourself, Zace, you probably recognize and have a fair understanding of most of this sort of information.
Yeah.
It's very basic at the beginning. Like, it's very basic, like, almost like someone who's camping out for the first time away from home with a bunch of people. And as it gets further in, it gets like more and more detailed and more like survival savvy. Let's see. As far as any other information you might get of the shard, pretty much nothing is there.
Sad. Okay.
Zace, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check. Just D20 plus your straight intelligence modifier.
Oh, that's just a +1. Let's go. Give me big number. No big number. It's just a 2. +1, so it's a 3.
Oh no.
Big number.
Okay. You are going through the book here. You have found several of Ketch's stories and his notes sweet. It is
Oh,
Catch. Like it's all done in his voice and kind of this first person, third person kind of rotating perspective, as it is a strict, basically story and documentary of where he came from and how he has been and traveled around throughout his life. You get to a couple pages in, and one thing that kind of jumps out to you is Ketch mentioning that him and some of the other members of his orcish clan had gone on a hunt. They had traveled across the Kaimor Valan through several large wilderness thickets and brushes, finding deer, elk, bison, buffalo, and many of the sort. And as they're kind of catching around animals, one moment of it, they mentioned having lost some of them over the horizon as a stampede began running away from them. Ketch made a note in his journal, kind of almost reaching into the shard, reaching into the prism, trying to track them, find them. But he hadn't yet practiced and seen that ability. He wasn't quite there yet. It's something that's on the horizon that he might be able to take care of, but he needed to practice more. He needed to go in it to learn more about the shard, learn more about himself, spend more time working on the arcane. And
I will also say most of that is within the context of the book. It is pretty hard to read because that is like pretty much all of that text would be very scratched out. You can probably like still read some of it, but a lot of it's just marked out, scratched out,
right.
all that.
yeah, that's totally why I got a 3. Because I couldn't read.
Yeah. This sort of thing is coming to probably the close of the field guide style elements of the book. But Zace, you do remember kind of where your clan was at that time, kind of traveling around, and how one day, almost out of the blue, you and some of your tribe's members had encountered some sick animals moving in that general area, and you were able to heal them, practice medicine, get them back onto their feet, and there's just this sort of almost realization and connection that almost on the opposite sides of rolling hills and mountains, the two of you had just about crossed paths one time before.
Oh. See.
As for the rest of the book, it's just complete and utter arcane mumbo jumbo. It's a lot of the Ketch that you have known throughout your adventures now, pondering the nature of reality and looking to the stars for answers, and scratching down different symbols and runes and the like.
So I got a little bit of info on a shard thing.
Yes.
But not enough. Maybe. So all the echo shards, if I remember correctly, I gave them all to other people. I never kept one. I don't think I did.
I have plenty of echo shards.
Yeah, I think I didn't keep any of them, so I can test out anything right now.
I
So.
mean, he just asked, we'd give it back.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just thinking like, oh. I should
Oh,
kept
so I'm
going.
not there, but isn't there a spell that could be used to restore pages that have been torn out of a book?
It's I don't know spells.
Would restoration be of any use to that?
Right.
Lesser restoration?
Mending.
Because I believe
Mending's what I'm thinking.
I have lesser restoration. I do not have mending.
I don't know
I think
any
catch had
magic.
mending.
Question, Andrew.
Well,
Yes.
we wouldn't be in this
Would
predicament.
bending actually work? Like, would you need like the other part of the page, or would it fabricate what the page was, or would it be like a blank page? I'm just wondering how that would work.
If you cast mending without the actual page, like if you had the actual page, mending would basically begin to sew the two together until it became indistinguishable from when the pages were removed. If not, it would take a bit more of a concerted effort, but it would probably be able to almost regrow the page from the fibers of the book and from the different elements of what was remaining of it, but it would be blank. The contents of it would be lost.
Mm.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
wondering.
Yeah, so that wouldn't do you any good anyway, so.
Then I'm just gonna keep reading. Catch is sleeping, so that's a good thing. I mean, the whole point of me reading is I'm trying to calm down Catch. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep reading.
Calm him down with the power of philosophy.
Catch.
Yeah.
Go
I'm
ahead
just gonna-
and roll me a history check, please. Sorry,
Me?
Star.
Catch or Zace? I
Catch
did not
catch
hear them.
history check.
Catcher's ace.
Okay.
No, catch history check. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I was right. the
By
first
catch, do you mean Zace or catch?
time. I mean you, Jacob.
Jacob, roll!
All right. That is 3. No, actually, that's a 3.
Okay. Star, you had a
Like
follow-up question?
during all this, Catch is pretty much just on the ground. Every once in a while, just like still like awake, but like eyes just open, staring at the ground. Maybe just lightly moving head back and forth on the like rolling a bit.
Okay. Star, Zace, you had a follow-up you wanted to say when I was asking Catch for the role?
Oh no, I was asking because I didn't know the name. I didn't hear the name.
Gotcha. Okay. Catch, as you hear some of these stories being told out, it's almost as though they were parts of a faded dream. Like, the morning has come and you're in the process of waking up, and the last tendrils of sleep and the realms beyond of your mind are sort of trying to process and assign meaning and relevance to the images of the previous day. And so there is some familiarity with these stories, but maybe another you, another time, another day, another night. Just
Yep, makes sense.
yeah.
Another.
With that, if you are going to continue going through the spell book, please go ahead and make me an investigation check.
Investigation check. Okay, yes. I only have a +1 in that. Give me high roll. I got high roll. +1, 21.
Did you nat 20?
Yes.
Yay!
Okay, that's great.
I was begging the dice. I was telling the dice, "Please, you gotta sing to the dice. Please give me a high roll."
Okay. One moment. Okay. One second, sorry, I have to check a little bit.
Nope, it's okay.
Okay. Um, so as you are kind of going through here, there are different patterns that you begin to kind of notice. Different areas of the pages of the spell book where Ketch's hand seem to be a little heavier, just drawing different symbols and sigils and writing different words. It's not a lined page. It's the notes are kind of scattered. There's a little bit of a curve to the base of it. It is handwritten all the way. But the actual pages themselves are a rather thin vellum, where it's almost a soft page where it will rotate and turn without much force. There doesn't seem to be any eraser or any sort of marks made by different blades to cut out errors in the words. It's once you get to the parts that begin detailing actual spellcraft, it is remarkably pristine. There are different notes here and there around the page, but it is impossible for you to find any place where he has scribbled over something, in stark contrast to areas from the earlier half of the book where it was journal entries, where it was field guide, where it was a gazetteer of the realms and the lands and the continent. It's a dramatic change as well. There's the pages that are gone, but then it just begins to flow more, and the word choice becomes a bit more bolder, and there are areas of the page where different droplets of ink have kind of scattered and been moved around, but it's all either intentional or entropic. There is no error in the presentation of the information.
Catch, you have a very pretty handwriting. Marty agrees as well.
With a
way
natural
you write-
20. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say the way you write is so neat. It reminds me of like people who have those really, really good notes, and they just look pleasing to look at.
Man, D&D, you really can be anything you want to be, even if it's having good handwriting, which I can never imagine in real life
Me too.
personally.
Me too.
My handwriting is awful.
Me too.
I can do it if I try. But somebody invented computers for a reason.
Dang.
Though the reason I bring this up, Zace, is especially with your natural 20, as you are looking through this book, it starts to kind of become apparent that there are areas on the page that are consistently more darker than the others. Like Ketch's pen dragged a little bit extra ink here and there at some extra points, but there are some where the grooves are a little bit deeper, a little bit more pushed in, where it seems like he was dipping his quill pen in the ink considerably more, even though it's sort of a passive writing exercise to just begin the process of working through the book, working through the different spell scrolls and abilities that he has learned.
So he was like writing more like aggressively in certain pages.
Only in certain areas of certain pages.
Okay.
Like if there is,
Okay.
like you see a small squiggle of red from the vellum rolling on one of the pages as it just kind of moves down, and it seems almost like all along that path, any word that intersects is a little bit deeper and darker on that on that marking
Is
on a
this?
letter by
I'm
letter
gonna
basis.
focus on those words. If I focus on those words, do I get anything?
There is no direct hidden message in the words. As you kind of look through each of them, everything makes sense within context. It doesn't seem like Ketch was trying to do anything unusually fancy with how these words are presented on the page, with how they are read. But there's just something in the back of your head that's like, this is a little odd. And you see this sort of pattern where almost a top-down perspective, and it's slightly shifted a little bit one way, slightly shifted a little bit the other way, where there's a little bit more ink spilled here, a little bit more ink pushed, a little bit more on the pen in different areas, and some that are the exact opposite, where there's a little bit less ink, a little bit less pressure put on the page. Just
Wait, could I tilt the book around?
okay.
I'm thinking of like, I don't know if you've ever seen those memes of like tilt your phone fully this way and then you just get someone like a silly word.
Like the reflectors.
Yeah,
It's like one image one way and one image another.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You
Either
tilt the book at just the right angle, and you see the hidden words that's been there the entire time. Fart.
that's exactly it. Either that or I'm thinking like like how like putting pressure or lighter pressure, it could be like you're trying to like put something on the like indent something on other pages. It's either one of those two. I think. Maybe something else, but that I can't think of.
Okay. So you're kind of just trying to tilt the book around to see if there's different like glistens and sheens and such from it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. On this page alone, and as you kind of flip through, there doesn't seem to be that much pattern. It seems like there could be something, like it's almost a rippling pattern across the page, where as you get these different lines in different areas that intersect one another, but it's not quite there. It's each page is almost too small to see the whole thing.
What? Oh, I don't. I mean, I possibly. I mean, I can't think of anything. I can't do puzzles. Do puzzles. The only other thing I could think of is like all the pages together. It makes a drawing where, like you said, the pages are too small. Like I'm not. I don't want to rip it, but imagining the line if it ends on this page, like maybe in another page it continues on.
Try
Like-
treating it like
you
Braille
know,
and seeing
like
what
small-
happens.
Braille?
You know, like words you see with your fingers. Just start touching the page and see
Oh,
what the texture's
I know
like.
what it is. I'm like,
Oh,
I
okay.
could try that. I didn't think of that. I will try that.
Okay. You go ahead and kind of feel the areas of the page with. Go ahead and roll me a perception check. Actually, it's been a little bit since we rolled the dice.
Oh, okay.
Can't go too long.
I know, right?
I
So
have a
much narrative mumbo jumbo.
We have a quota to meet.
give me a good roll. No, I got a 5 plus 5, so it's a 10.
Okay. You do get that the areas that are that seem to have slightly more ink are slightly more raised on the vellum paper, and that the areas with less ink are a little bit lighter. It's like if you hadn't distinctly noticed that there was a lack of carving and shaving away errors, it would almost seem like the areas of lighter ink had been whittled away slightly, as if though there was discretion applied to it. It's a little bit rougher.
Brain, please work. I do not know. But do I give that information? It's rougher. It's like trying to scribble it away, like they're trying to hide something. What are you trying to hide, Cat? What are you trying to hide? What is in this book? What is in this book?
Ketch's eyes are just wide open on the ground, not looking at like you, just looking straight ahead.
Just having,
See a lot.
I'm having the panic attack now. It has switched. No wonder you went crazy, Cat. Mari, do you understand any of this?
Mari kind of looks up at you a little bit bewildered. You see their big brown eyes just kind of have that like Disney animated glow to them as they're just kind of looking up at you, and just like have just kind of a low gurgling sound from the bottom of their throat that seems to kind of pop at the different lung entranceways and openings that just kind of, as it seems like they sigh with every ounce of their being.
Okay, cuteness has restored me. Thank you so much, Mari.
Cuteness has restored. I love that. I love it.
Okay, one more time. Let us go through these pages. One more time. What are the pages saying? What's on these pages in the first place?
The pages that you have noted as being different, that they do not match Ketch's style, even from before, as he was journaling and such. They are primarily devoted to spellcraft.
And okay, so the ones that are weird are devoted to spellcraft, but is there any one specific that's like a really weird, out of place type of spell?
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Aww. Okay, let's go. Why put these on investigation, but the perception where I have a +5 on it, I got a 5.
You know what? I'll be merciful. You can take your choice of the two.
I mean, I got a natural 20
Well,
plus
well,
1.
go.
I mean, it's
I missed that part.
perception.
I missed that part.
There was a happy little
25.
squeal at the beginning.
I heard the
there.
happy little squeal. I just didn't hear the.
It's a 21.
Yeah. Okay. That's incredible.
This
I'm
is
good at
exactly what we
investigating, it
need.
seems. But not perception.
Apparently.
Okay. The spell that draws your focus the most. The page itself is almost rippling in and out from the center in these patterns of dark and light writing. It's as though the pen was heavier in certain areas and then immediately lighter, then heavier and then lighter, but just enough to get the base meaning of the word across. The spell in question is the Eyes of Rin.
I remember that. But I totally forgot what it did. It was weird. It did something. But I do not. What does it do?
As you are kind of looking through this page, it seems to be the one that has the most variation on it, as though everything seems to come together on this page. sort of like a focal point.
It's like an investigation. It's like the middle pinpoint on the spreadsheet.
Right. Like if you have one of those big stereotypical conspiracy boards, it's the one where a lot of the red string kind of just meets up and you have pinpoints in it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. What does this one do? I can read it. What does it do?
The spell is... It is in the chat. Let me go ahead and do a quick search for it, and that's the wrong.
I know that it
thing.
is, but it was a
It was a while ago.
That's why I said I remember it, but I
You know
remember
what?
it was odd. It didn't do
Let
much.
me.
Or did
I
something.
know where it is. It's on Twitter because I put it up.
Then shouldn't it be on the campaign info?
It is. I just know I put it in a couple places because I was really proud of that. And I think that there was like one other really old D&D nerd who was like, "Hey, I see what you're doing."
Oh boy, why am I not that? Why did I not know?
Okay, let me just.
Is that it?
No. That's
There it
where.
is.
There it is.
Forget that you two are
Save
together,
it
so you
as?
guys probably.
Yep, I'm just saving it again. And there we go. There's the spell description. That's technically the whole thing. Ketch really only has the left-hand column. He does not have the abilities of the spell at 5th level or at 9th level or higher. But, you know, I have to deal with what I have to deal with. And also I like to hint at stuff.
I'm reading it, so. Okay. I wish I was more. Was this cast on Catch?
I don't know.
This being Jacob is frustrating right now.
He's frustrating.
No, it's not. It's not on you or anything. It's just like I know what all this is, and I can't say anything.
So something. Okay, an echo shard. I remember that. Okay, an echo shard. So we probably need one of those. You touch a spell and use the power to see through the echo. Did someone see through the echo? What is the echo? Did you ever have to make a Constitution saving throw recently?
We have to do that every time we cast a spell because magic is screwy.
Oh yeah. Is there a benefit from the Eyes of Rin again? What happens if you fail? It just says you never benefit from it, right? Okay. Can I guess this? Can I try? Can Zace do something with this info?
I do not know. What would Zace like to do with this?
It says ritual. I mean, I've done rituals.
Maybe you want to consult somebody about it?
I think I'm gonna do that. Okay. I'm gonna give the spell book to Mari because I didn't have permission to show it to someone else, and it's wrong if I show it to someone else yet. Without
Find
permission.
the druid he was talking to.
What?
Find the druid Catch traumatized.
The druid? That would be the one that help. Okay, I'll try to find it, but I'm going
Or
to give the
Mari.
book to Mari. Mari protect it, okay? And take care of Catch. Catch is like, I assume, leaning on Mari. Stay here, you two, okay? I'm gonna remember this spot. I'm going to go find someone smart.
Okay, I
be
found the next thing I'm gonna draw. Just imagine this: you're walking out the door. Mari is currently has the book in mouth, like chewing
it's
it up,
like
paper
slobbering.
flying everywhere. Catch
like-
on the ground, slowly crying.
If it is not my fault, nor Mari's. I don't think
No,
she's
no.
gonna chew it. I don't think she's gonna chew it. Maybe it's gonna be wet. But I don't.
No, that's cool. It's cool.
Just gnawing on the cover like a chew toy.
Oh no, the dog ate my homework.
The dog
Oh,
ate
no,
my
the
wizard
dog ate-
class.
It's all fixed.
The dog ate my
Oh, no, the
grimoire.
textbook I had to write.
I paid $100.
You just ate Catch's brain, or what's left of it.
I've been reading this and I have not gotten as smart as Catch. So this is not his brain. This is just writing.
I get it.
Plus, I do not think Mari's gonna chew it because it's wood or like it's a weird texture. I assume Mari can definitely slobber it.
The number of changes equals.
Plus, I've been reading it and Mari
Damn,
knows
this is a complicated spell.
No, how am I supposed to understand any of these words? Any of them? What is the echo?
Give me a second.
Mari's in that picture somewhere, like laying on top. Oh wait, probably not laying on top. That would be like that would be heavy. Like laying next to and just like holding the book with her mouth. God, it's like when you wake up and you find like your dog. I don't know if movies do that. When you find the dog holding something. Sounds adorable. Anyways, Mari, please take care of this. Don't eat it yet because I'm still reading it. But I don't understand. So I'm gonna find someone who they don't have permission to read it, but I'm going to try to tell them what I've read. And hopefully they can find something. Take care of Catch too. Catch is still make sure Catch doesn't hurt himself. And Catch also has my bone, my bear my bear skull on his head, so that's
Oh, I forgot about the hard hat.
Okay, I have
What?
to yes and this whole thing. Zace, please roll me an animal handling check.
I knew it. I knew this was
Oh
gonna
my
come.
god.
You know what? Just give me a big old number. Okay. Not bad number. I have 9 plus 5. 14.
Yeah.
I can do math now.
Yay.
Since school has ended, I can do math.
You have unlocked math.
Yes.
Mari does not eat Catch's spell book. There might be some slight teeth indentations towards the spine, and there is some drool all over it. But Mari does a good job holding onto the book and keeping Catch comfortable.
They're experimental.
Aw,
They're seeing if it
that's
would
like
be good
Ginger.
as
Ginger
you
does
want.
the same thing.
Yeah, if you had rolled a 1, that would be a very different story.
Ginger does the same thing. That's why I trusted Mari, because Ginger also holds my stuff, and I would find like teethy marks on it and slobber. Like I ask her to get my crutches, and they'd be wet. But okay, that's good. I'm going to find smart person. Let's go.
Okay. With that, I say we can shift the camera slightly for Zagra, as you are working on the orb.
Let's do my orb exercise and then
Orb
I have an idea.
exercise. Okay.
Dang, that's the good name for a hardcore middle school cover band.
Either that or
Orb
like an
exercise?
80s exercise routine.
Orb
Yeah, it's
exercise.
Fushigi meets jazzercise.
Exactly.
I keep thinking of
My
David
mom
Bowie
actually
in the
just got one of these. You know those
Labyrinth.
exercise balls? Or exercise.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Okay.
as you kind of are ready to meet the day, Zvali will meet you, and you can begin kind of going through the process of attuning and activating the orbs. Struggling to find the right words. Okay, so please go ahead and make me a... It's definitely sanity, or...
Can I make an argument for insight?
Sure. Yeah, no, that does make sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're using Google.
Okay.
Dang it.
There we go.
6, please. Wait,
6?
oh, wait, 8.
8. Okay, that's... Okay.
You know, that's what I was picturing.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm like, that's exactly where I went with it. If
The
you've never seen
Fujishi.
this movie, The Labyrinth with David Bowie, it's awesome.
Oh, wait, that's the labyrinth.
Yeah, that's David Bowie's
Yeah.
Labyrinth. Well, Jim Henson's Labyrinth, starring David Bowie as the Goblin King.
I love that show.
Okay.
Here's Catch again.
Catch. Poor Catch.
Anyway, what's my 8 get me?
Okay. As you kind of begin to exert your will upon the orb, and kind of, you're able to get it to rock slightly on the stump. It moves a little bit here and there. It's not much, but there is a hum to it.
Jacob, Mary says thank you for cheat codes.
Yeah, no problem. I tell her I think she's abusing her power, but it's all
You're
good.
abusing your power, he says. But it's good.
Go ahead and make me another insight check.
Okay.
You gave it to her.
6.
Okay. Eventually the orb does kind of return to its standard resting position. Here.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, no. These dice have served me very well.
That was cocked.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
14.
14. Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's a whole lot of progress. As the orb kind of immediately kind of seems to rock backward towards where it started, you sense that it is almost being defiant towards your will, and kind of just instinctively close your eyes, and then all of a sudden there's a small flip as you open it, and it is not on the log anymore.
Yes!
Rolled off the back.
Yes! Progress!
Okay, so from there, it sort of begins to be just a reaching out and extension, and the way to describe it kind of in the initial stages is it's a push. Like, you have to apply effort to intend to. It's not just like moving your hand, it's not like moving your feet, it's not walking, but it is intentionally sitting down and focusing on a task to get it done. as you have made this progress, go ahead and roll me one more check for the day. See if we can get one more step further.
What kind?
Same kind.
Okay.
Same kind.
16.
Even better. As you are continuing to focus to meditate on this orb, to get it to follow your wills and your whims, you are able to move it maybe about a centimeter into the air before getting it to drop back down onto the stump. Just to get it to raise up a hair. It, in between, like, kind of just getting practice and trying to get used to these feelings and getting used to organizing it all. And is there anything else you would like to do today with the time that you would have?
Okay, to start. Messenger orbs.
Okay.
Do I have to have met the person in order to send it to them? Or can I just know of them?
It's sort of like a death note. You have to be vaguely familiar with them, but like if you have a name and like a vague picture of their face, you should be able to send them an orb.
Okay, so no one in Ketch's clan.
Correct.
Any of the 8?
That's... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
1. Yeah.
Which one? We
The
have
one that you met at, last saw at Bone Grove. Wait, when you say the 8, you mean like the 8, the 8?
The 8, yes.
Okay, yeah. Drawmage.
The circle people?
Okay. The dragon?
Yeah.
They're part of the circle thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Oh,
would
they big
Be
person.
familiar enough, you know their name, you've seen them, you are distantly familiar with them.
Okay.
You would be able to attempt to send something to them.
Okay. Let's see if we can get Ketch some help.
Oh, that's a good idea, but what if they hurt Catch? I won't let
They're
that
on our
happen.
side. They're on A side. Dear Dramage. We need help. During the fight at Bone Grove, our orc wizard became broken and lost all of his intelligence. We don't know what's wrong with him and we can't fix it. Can you please help? If there's somewhere you would like us to meet, let me know. This is Agra. Send.
As you do, the orb kind of
Call me back.
kind of pulse and condense on itself, and it just flies away into the sunset. It will arrive to him within a week.
Yay!
Okay, so that... Yeah.
Yay.
That's definitely going to be a thing. Okay. Tsubaki, as you are...
Yep.
You had a very intricate bit on the project there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely refining some things.
Gotcha.
I decided to break the violin down into pieces because I think it needs to be more hollow because I felt like it was way too solid. So I'm doing front plate.
I thought the opposite was the problem.
No, I thought it was way too solid. So I've decided I'm gonna do like a frame of the edge, then the front plate and the back plate, and then fuse them together after that. And then I was thinking about how to get the echo shards in there evenly. So instead of melting the shards in, the other day I broke one of the shards using the Far Cry, and I was thinking of sprinkling pieces of the shard into the molten glass and then stirring it up.
Okay.
Yep.
So, what is... So you want to break a shard using the call.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Okay.
Followed immediately by a perception or investigation check.
I got a 25.
Okay. You will definitely
then
be able to shatter a shard.
And then you said investigation?
Or perception, your choice.
Mary, back off, or else I'm gonna throw a cat at you.
Yes, the classic defense against a sibling.
That's a saying.
I know it
I
now.
would never actually do it. It's just I
It's
know
one of
she
the better
doesn't like
cat
them.
sayings.
Yeah.
Okay, what was I doing?
Investigation or perception.
Okay, on my performance, I got a 25,
Yep.
and then investigation, I think, is where I'm gonna go.
Okay.
Oh wait, wrong one. That was intimidation. I'm going to intimidate the glass into blowing for me. Okay, I only got a 6 on investigation.
Okay. With your performance check, you are absolutely able to kind of localize the harmonics to cause cracks to appear within the shard and get it to break apart. And you do so kind of right into the crucible as you are heating up new layers of glass and kind of getting this into the plate for the top of the violin. As it hardens and crystallizes over the next couple hours and cools, you have to do it slowly so that you don't shock the glass and just get it, and it just shatters on its own. But there is... It is primarily a clean glass look, but with almost as though there are pieces of broken obsidian throughout it. There is no glowing blue. There is nothing that reminds you of the shard that you put in. It just is fragments that kind of create this like splintering effect all across and throughout the glass top of the violin.
Okay.
It is nothing like that image.
Nope.
Nope.
It is
It is basically
what
like
I'm trying to
clean,
get to.
clear glass that just has. Let me see if I can try and
Chunks in it?
find something that would. Nope, that's not at all what I'm going for.
I didn't hate cats before, I certainly do now.
Okay. Yeah, that's sort of like what it would look like. It sort of like looks like in a way that is cast into the glass bit there these opaque black shards from the echo shard. Just like them sprinkled throughout, almost like snow falling throughout the body of the violin, or throughout the faceplate of it. Almost as if each one of these shards is just suspended in not resin, but glass. Just as it all hardens into it. The number one way to describe it is it looks damaged.
Damaged. Well.
Talk about salt to a wound.
Alright, well, did it cast successfully?
It was able to cast successfully, but it is, in a word, monochromatic.
Okay. Well.
That's your problem.
Okay, well, I'm gonna do what I did the last one, and I'm going to see how well it plays.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
I have to go get the door. I'll be right back.
Gotcha.
If you need to go to somebody else, go for it.
Sounds good. We can definitely rotate. Zace.
Ah, me.
As Mari is holding Ketch's spellbook, you are going to find somebody.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you trying to find?
I'm gonna go for the person that that catch broke their mind. Because
Okay.
my mind is broken. Maybe we can have our mind broken together.
Fair enough.
Broken minds make one functional mind.
Yes, you know?
It's like one of those puzzles, like of like the two just rough-looking piece of ingots, and then like they combine together perfectly without seam to make one perfect ingot.
Perfection. That's what it is. One that was very confused by catch
Okay.
talking, and another by the writing.
Okay. So you are able to find her. She is kind of taking it easy, it seems. There is a large pile of firewood that has been gathered, and just kind of taking it easy on her hammock, looking through her spellbook.
Okay, I am back. Just saying.
Okay.
Do you want to go back or?
No. You go ahead and continue your thing. I've got to rethink my thing, anyways.
Okay.
Okay.
Hello. What's their name?
Catch never got it, and if he
What
did,
is
he
their
never
name
put
again?
it down.
I just forgot.
At least get her name
Okay.
before you break her mind.
Okay. Hello, person. Hello. I have a question
Meeting
to
new people.
throw your way. What?
Me when meeting new people. Hello, person.
That's so true. I would call when I don't know my teacher's names. I would be like, hello, ma'am, Miss Teacher, Mrs. Ma'am, please, or like, Mr. Teacher. But
But anyway, yeah.
I have a question to throw your way. Because it's related to catch. You know, other tall person. My size, literally.
She looks
Was
up
very,
towards
very
you.
smart. But you should maybe. You're cutting out. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I don't know, did I do a stupid
You
thing?
like stopped talking a little bit, but you were like interrupted and stopped. But I don't think you cut out.
Yeah, it was like.
Oh, I'm sorry. So you're coming up to them and saying, "Hey, I need your help."
Yeah, that's a much better way.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I remember Catch a bit. He was the we traded a couple spells. He's yeah, I've seen him over there. He's seems to be having a rough go of it. Do you know
Okay.
what's going on or what's wrong?
The thing is, I don't know, and I don't understand a thing. But I think someone else might know, and I'm hoping you might know.
Okay. Um, I'll
Uh,
see what I can do. I'm not the greatest at this sort of thing, but let's take a
okay,
stab at it.
okay, perfect. So I have two big clues, I think,
Okay.
but I don't know how to go together. There's this thing called echo shards. They're shards of echo thing, and they seem to have to do something.
Okay.
And there's the iron, and there's also I don't know if you remember, but remember when our Subaki, our violin friend, was like singing, and Catch was like, "Ouch." That may
We
have
weren't at the
something
camp
to
for
do.
that, but
Oh, we were not. I don't think I was there that day. So. But that happened.
do tell her anyway, though. That seems important.
This is me trying to explain stuff to people, but yes, all of these pieces, I think they come together to make a puzzle that is clue to this. I'm like constantly pointing to Ketch and Mari, like, and moving my arms around because I'm doing that in real life. If you had a camera, you could see me.
Okay. Um, let's see what we can do here.
Yay.
Um, okay, so she walks over towards Catch, and you can tell that she's light on her feet, elven in nature. Um, first thing she does is she pulls a small twig from the campfire, um, and uh, quickly pulls a small little bit of wood and carves a very small hole into it. With the fire from it, she kind of looks towards Catch and puts the burning twig near like the piece of wood, so it kind of has a quick light pass through the hole, and so she can kind of just look into his eyes and try and do the whole doctor bit, seeing if there's anything biologically up with Catch. Let me go ahead and make a medicine check for her. That's okay. No, it's um. So she kind of goes around and kind of. There doesn't seem to be any open wounds on Catch. His eyes might be a little bit more dilated than usual, but it's far within the normal range. Um, I'm sorry, I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, you said it was kind of a mental thing though. So what
You're like cutting
sorts?
in and out, but I hear your words.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Um, so I wasn't able to find any sort of physical ailment that was.
Sorry.
Oh boy, they went so quiet.
um, I wasn't able to find any sort of like physical ailment that was seems to be affecting him. You were saying it was seemed to be more psychological, tied to a spell.
Yes, a spell kind called Eyes of Rin.
Okay. He did demonstrate that spell for me a little bit. It's a little bit funky.
No, from this elf's perspective, it's like, oh yeah, the Ketch got damage from a spell called the Eyes of Ren, the spell that was taught and used on said elf.
Oh.
Yeah, no, there is hesitation and a bit of nervousness.
Oh my goodness, wait, I need to reread it now. It was used on this elf?
When he showed the spell to me, it sort of caused there to be a little bit of a darkness almost filtering through reality. There were large ripples and boundaries that kind of just moved around throughout space. They just sort of seemed to exist in the forest, just rolling about. There wasn't anything that was particularly peculiar in my experience. It seemed to go for a bit and then end. You're saying that he had a negative effect to this?
Well, that's where all my, like, clues are leading to, or that's where they're, like, the big connector of my investigation. I guess that's what we'd call it since I've been doing investigation roles.
Okay.
Uh, I I wish I could show you the spellbook, but I do not have permission to show it to you. I could ask Catch, but I do not know if they are in the ability to give consent to be shown the spellbook. But I could read it to you.
I mean, he showed me the book already. He let me copy it down and make a note of it.
Oh, so you already have permission to look at it before. Then would Mari, could I please have the book back?
Mara seems to kind of pull back a little bit, enjoying this new.
Oh god. Oh god, it's tug of war with this thing that's like 8 foot tall.
Okay, I know how to take this. I have had. What if you give me that thing, and I will give you this 1 foot long radius I have. Because I have that still.
Okay.
In my in my equipment.
Yeah, just the spare femur.
It's a radius.
No, the femur is different. I have a
The femur
radius
is
and a
different.
femur.
Yeah,
Don't mix those up.
that is fair. Go ahead and roll me a diplomacy check with advantage.
Diplomacy, that's a thing.
Yep.
That is a thing.
Let's
With
give it
disadvantage?
No, with advantage.
Oh, advantage. Okay. So I roll it twice. Okay, my higher one was 17.
Okay. You are able to get Ketch's spellbook and trade it for the bone. As soon as you have the book, there's a little bit of drool on it, a little bit of slobber. You hear Mari kind of go plop down and begin chewing on it, and then eventually you hear the bone break as they begin to like start chewing it up and crushing it and eating it.
I got to cry.
I hope you don't need that.
Can you digest that, Mari?
Mari just kind of gurgles and growls and
So
grumbles.
a general rule of thumb
Okay,
is
if I
the bones
see
are
you-
solid, they're fine.
If I see you have a piece in your mouth that is very small, and you could choke on it, I'm gonna dive into your jaw and take that out. I've done that with my real dog, where they have chewed up their little toys so much. If that happens,
Oh, sorry.
I said if that happens, I am I'm grabbing that bone out of your jaw. Do not break it too much. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mari
It'll
like the small end cap that would attach to the next bone in the series and have kind of areas where that would connect to different ligaments. It kind of just falls out of Mari's mouth and they kind of just nose it towards you on the ground.
Thank you, Mari. Just make sure to don't choke. If you choke, how do you do the Heimlich maneuver? On you. How do you do that? Okay, I will save you. Just be careful.
How do you do the Heimlich maneuver on a Tarrasque? Okay. But you have Catch a Spellbook now.
I would say with a baseball bat.
No way.
I don't think your arms would be thick enough to get around her.
So I hold 2 baseball bats and use them to go around? As like an
Whatever-
extension of my arm?
Yeah, that's it.
I think you just start at the base and work your way up the neck.
I do not know. I've never done it. In real life. So I do not know.
I don't think there's much of a choking risk on a Tarrasque anyway.
Okay. I'm just worried, you know.
Protective
It can happen.
peritonal, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I kind of like wipe off the slobber and drool off the book. And I'm gonna flip to the Eyes of Rin page.
Okay.
This is my main clue. If you want, you've already read it and you took notes of it, but if you want to look at it again, my second big clue. And did Catch have a page for the shards?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna flip to the page of the shards, and I'm gonna show this. This pointing to it. This one, the second. They are connected. And then there's the other things. I don't know. Did Catch write about being hurt by the song?
That's a Jacob question.
Yeah. At that point, there isn't like an official journal entry of being hurt by the song. I would say Ketch probably has noted down magical effects of certain lullabies mixed with whatever like Desi was doing at the time with like how sound waves can affect the physical body.
Okay, then I'm gonna flip to that page and point to that, because I don't know how to repeat any of those words. So all of these, I think, are connected, and there's other pieces that I don't remember. There were pages where the pen writing was odd, and thick and not thick, and pressury but not pressury. But here, look, take a look if you can. Help him! Help him!
Okay. Okay. She takes the spell book and begins kind of going through it, flipping kind of back and forth between the pages that you'd said. Zace, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
I'm not really good at those so far today, but I'll do it.
Okay.
I have a +5 on it, so I gotta do good. Give me a... And that one fell.
Oh no.
Okay. 18 + 5. What is that number? What is
That's
that number?
really
What?
good.
Wait, what is an
23?
18 + 5? Oh, yes, math. Thank you.
23.
That makes sense. Yeah, because you do -2 from the 10. Yes? Wait, what?
If you want to do math that way.
Yeah.
That's how I do
I'll
it.
be honest. That is also how I do it inside my head.
I don't know
Like
how these
whenever I have like a 10 and like a single number, like something in the tens, and I'm like, okay, since the opposite of 8 is 2, I'll just take that and then take away from the
Yeah, that's what I do.
do that.
yeah.
That's the smart way.
There's like 3 extra steps.
No, it's not.
Alright.
Well,
It
it is.
feels like it.
Okay, how do you do it? How do you do it? I'm curious.
I add the
Or
numbers.
to the other number.
I would have to
Okay.
use my fingers.
Jacob, you are
I'm-
always 3
With
extra
my
steps.
fingers or I count
I
the
would have
It's
to use
Like,
my fingers and
So 18 plus 5. You take the 8 plus the 5, that's a 13. Then take the 1 plus the other 1, and it's a 2, and it's a 23.
okay, a 10 plus a 5 is a 15, but it's an 8, so you minus 2. You see where I'm going?
I
I
think.
suppose.
So think about it this way. 8's opposite is 2. 7's opposite is 3. So if you just think about it in terms of opposites, you can just go by that.
Sure.
It's like a -1 step.
Anyway,
Okay.
you rolled a 23.
Yes, you rolled a 23. That's quite good.
No, we rolled a 10, 12 plus 5.
If you want to have a 12
minus
catch, that's perfectly
52.
fine. That's your call.
Yeah, that's how I did
I
it.
mean, that sounds
I'm
right.
more than willing to roll with you having to roll a lower number.
Oh no, I mean, I'll leave it up to you.
Smite him.
Okay.
His eyes
Let's
are
get
like
back to it.
solid closed
Let's
right
get
now.
back on track.
Yeah. Okay. So as she is going through and flipping through the pages of the book, especially between the ones that you pointed out that have like the key moments that pertain to this, you sort of are step back a little bit looking at it, and as the pages move back and forward, as she's reading through the different journal entries, the different notes, looking at the different patterns that you had seen, some of the darker markings seem to almost line up with and become congruent with those on other pages.
What? The markings. Isn't that what I said?
So, like, on each... The dark parts are the same on each page.
Not the same, but complementary.
That's what I said. You look at one page and then you look at the other and compare them, right? Didn't I say that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're smarter, so you can figure it out quicker. You know?
She is looking primarily at the content of the pages, getting to the point where you are right now, having kind of seen and gone through it, and there isn't a whole lot in the book that directly outlines a break glass in case of emergency sort of plan. It's more musings and observations on what could these shards do, what could they be. There's definitely similarities in appearance and maybe potential. I mean, they do have similar glows, similar coloration, similar styles. But it's Ketch's pattern of words that she is understanding, and as you're kind of standing back watching her work through this, you see sort of like a flip book, like for animation. Quickly removing one page, the slightly darker marks and the slightly lighter marks stay in your vision for a fraction of a second longer, and they seem to kind of lead over into the next page. And it almost seems like the line grows a little bit just for that brief moment, and then it's just to the normal.
Did did the person realize that, or is it just me who realized
She did
that?
not notice that.
Okay. Should I, are you done? uh,
I,
Did-
yeah. I don't really see much about it. What is there something that you noticed, or something that you can do?
okay. I'm gonna hold the book and I'm gonna flip through a couple pages, and I want you to look at me flipping. Okay? Because I realized something when you were flipping, and maybe you can realize the thing while I am flipping. So, uh, may I have the book?
Sure. She will pass
Okay.
it back to you.
I am going to flip through those pages that were mentioned. That
Okay. As you kind of go through the areas, you see the solid lines begin to kind of curl up around. It almost is a brief, almost wisp of art that forms for just a brief moment as you're like flipping the pages rapidly. But it is something that is there that would not normally be visible or be seen by just going through page by page by page.
Did you realize that the thing moved? It was like a whoosh.
Yeah, that was weird.
Do you,
Does he do this sort of thing? Like put artistic flair in his notes?
I mean, Catch's handwriting and all is almost really pretty, but this is the first time I realized it moved on from page to page to make a picture.
Is there more of this?
Do I know if there's more of this? Do I know?
You only went through a couple pages.
I mean, I read a bunch of pages, but I don't know if there's more of this. We
Tell me
could
all of it.
take the whole book and just skim through it like a big old flip book real quick.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
She should be the one rolling. I'm the one who flipping the pages. Fine.
You're the character. You have the
Ooh,
agency in this moment.
Andrew.
What?
Andrew makes a stiff breeze blow through the thing to turn the pages.
I'm confused.
It's fine. Just
I got a 13 plus 5.
Okay. That is absolutely more than enough. As you kind of go from the earlier pages when you started to notice this darkening of different areas to the next page quickly, as they just begin folding and flying past, you see almost these different line patterns begin to grow and weave their way around the pages. As an image does begin to form and begin to solidify and become static, closer towards the eyes of Rin Page. But only as you are quickly moving these pages back and forth and just kind of rolling it, you see it starts out fairly bland, fairly blank. But after a while, towards the edges, some lines begin to shoot up towards higher on the page, as a large arc appears towards the top. And right towards the center of the page, it begins to kind of crawl up like a lattice work of vines towards the center, bisecting the arc on the inside. Almost beams of light seem to be radiating down around it, as wisps begin rotating around and around and around, and then all of a sudden it begins to start falling apart and rolling to a derelict picture of a city, lost, forgotten, abandoned.
What? We just went from. So the book has, if we skim through it quick, you see a picture of a
There's
lost city.
Hidden picture of a city.
As it grows seemingly throughout time and then falls apart. Rapid growth and decay, one right after the other. A timeline.
Timeline? A timeline.
A city through the ages.
Where would that be at? Did the person realize this as well? Or
And
are
with
they
your
watching?
perception check, having rolled an 18, you recognize this city.
Oh,
It's the bad
I do.
place.
That is sudden. I recognize it.
It's the bad place.
Oh no, it's the Sandland. Not the Sandland. Please not.
Sandland.
I hate the Sandland so much.
The Sandland. Doo-doo.
I love how I didn't even have to reveal it. You just knew it.
The Sandland. I
How
recognize
can we
that.
forget the Sandland?
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Why is the Sandland in your mind? Catch. I don't want to go back to the Sandland. Why is it the Sandland? What is Sandland? Okay. Sandland.
Hmm.
Sandland.
So
Okay.
many thoughts that I cannot alliterate on right now, but I might later.
I'm thinking Sandland. Like, oh, wow. Sandland. Okay. But why Sandland? Why? Why? So we got the Eyes of Ren from Sandland, right?
Technically, yes, but that spell came from Rin himself.
But we found it in a book in Sandland.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The clue is in Sandland.
The clue is in the Sandland.
The sand was the villain the whole time.
How would we even get back to the Sandland?
Okay. I am going to thank you so much. I think I understand everything. I need to go back and talk to Catch.
Who's right
I'm
there?
Okay.
I'm going to sit back next to Catch, and I'm going to tell Catch, do you have something to do at the Sandland, Catch?
Just
Legit question: has Ketch been eating and drinking?
I'm force
not
feeding.
unless prompted.
I would say yes. Yeah, no. I'm pretty lenient about rations and starvation, so I'm not going to.
Well, for all I know, he's letting himself go.
That's, I guess that's fair. Jacob, has Ketch been eating and drinking?
Catch is eating and drinking at others' bequest.
Okay.
Others.
Like, Catch is essentially a sad robot machine. Will do what tell to, not functioning good.
Happy about it.
Okay.
No, I know. I will not. You're not robot Catch. You're Catch.
Those don't exist yet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Robots,
Catch.
what are those?
Exactly. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, we don't know what robots are. Catch. Wait a minute, Mari. Mari, you're from Sandland, right?
Kind of nods, and you see a yes look in their eyes. Affirmative.
Do you think the solution for Catch is in Sandland?
Mari kind of just pulls their head back a little bit, like, I don't know.
Kind of tilts its head
Hang on,
at you
Mari
and
has
be
a
like,
stat
oh.
block.
Mari
Wait.
does have a stat block.
Okay, Mari, Wait, I'm going to flip the pages as we did earlier, but to Mari. I'm just gonna make sure I'm gonna confirm with Mari that it is
It's just up
Sandland.
here somewhere.
The
Thought you
pictures you just saw in the
reposted it.
book is Sandland, right?
Okay.
Was that it?
I don't know what's going on now.
I did also pin it.
Oh,
Yeah. So you are showing Mari the flip book of Ketch's spell book.
Yeah.
Okay. Mari
And,
watches it.
Does Mari? I mean, ask Mari. This is Sandland, right? This is your home.
she was there for like an hour.
I don't know how long she was there for. To be honest.
She was there for the first hour of her existence.
I don't know.
And then we took her.
Now you're making me feel bad. Now we need to take Mari back home.
No, she's here now.
Nope. We have her
She
forever.
has imprinted on you. She is yours.
You named her. You take responsibility for her.
Whatever emotional downfall happens as a result of that.
Wow, emotional
Up to
downfall.
you.
No more sand.
We ain't
No
going back.
sand.
I don't want to go back to Sandland. Why you keep asking? I'm confirming multiple times if it is the Sandland. I hope someone will tell me.
I feel like you're asking the wrong creature. I feel like Mari wouldn't know. That's why I think you're getting the answers you are.
Okay.
So maybe
I
ask
asked
other
Cat.
people.
I asked Cat. Okay.
Excuse me, sorry.
Okay, Mari, once again, please take care of this. I will go bring Zagra.
What can I do? I mean, I'll do it, but what can I do?
Wait, am I asking the wrong person still? I thought that was the right person.
I mean, I'll take a look at it. And
Who is
see.
the right person?
Yeah, I'm the right
I think it's
person.
Drive.
That's why you went to Zagra. That's why I went to Zagra, because
Okay,
I
what
thought
you showing
Zagra
me?
would be the right person, right?
What you showing
Well,
me?
Well, hello, Zagra.
Hi.
Come over here. Come with me.
Okay.
I have to show you a very sloppy book, but but there's something important in it. It might help Catch.
Okay.
you realize it's only sloppy because you gave it to Mari.
I've also made a call for Catch. We should be hearing back in about a week.
Wait, you sent a call to someone?
Yeah. You know the dragon?
Yeah.
I called the dragon.
Did
Oh.
you? Huh.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Wait, was the dragon once in Sandland?
Nope.
That's a different
Okay.
thing.
That was a different thing. Okay, because
The dragon showed up after we got back from Sandland.
okay,
Yes.
it's all not coming together at all, but it's coming. It's coming.
I
Okay.
believe the dragon will help us, but anyway, what do you have?
Well, if the dragon's coming to save us, then I really don't want to mention what I saw. 'Cause I don't want to go back. Go back to
Just show
Sandland.
us. You called me all the way over here to
No.
deny
Okay, no.
showing me something cool?
No, I will show it to you because it might help our friend who is like passed out right now in the cuddles of Mari. Okay, look, this is Catch's book. Catch gave me permission to look through it, and I was reading it to Catch, but I was not smart enough. So I asked the person I have not known their name yet. What is your name?
Her name? Does she have a name?
Yes. Marielle. Meriel.
Marielle here. Thank you so much.
Is it that
I asked
Marielle?
Marielle here.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
I have to
Um,
check or
I will not remember
That's
how to
fair.
spell it, but I
It's
remember how to
game.
Call
say
me
it.
on. Yeah, no, feel free to call me on that. But no, it's completely different.
Okay, Marielle here, getting through it. I'm confused.
Okay. Are you flipping the book?
Uh,
Uh,
Are you flipping the
Marielle
book?
looked through the book because I was like, Marielle's very smart.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'm stop flipping through it right now. I'm flipping the book, and I'm like, hey, I am flipping the book. I am
Okay, do
flipping
I
the
see
book.
the same thing?
And I'm saying, do you see the pictures?
Yes.
It looks like the Sandland, right?
Yes.
Okay. So it was like
Like a
the big
more
main
repaired version of the
clues of
Sandland?
so the big main other clues were the eyes of Ren and the echo shards, things that came from Sandland. So I think Ketch's condition right now is connected to this place.
How many echo shards do we still have?
Subaki's broken 2 of them.
Are we going to go through?
You want to try putting the echo shard in Ketch's little
I think
battery?
now's the
I
time.
had
I think now's the time
I had
to put
9
the echo
of
shard in
the
the battery spot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, so do you guys come seek me out,
Well, I'm
Yes.
pretty sure Zagra has the echo shard there.
or unless you got one?
Checked. I do not appear to have one. Oh wait, yes I do. Never mind.
Okay.
I thought you
Alright.
had some.
I do. I put it under treasure.
Oh,
Wednesday.
that works.
Yeah, I got one. I'm just gonna roll catch over. I believe it's at the back of the neck.
Wait,
hey,
do
Druid,
it
take a look
gently.
at this.
Okay.
Okay, Catch has right now my bear thing, so
I'll
hopefully
take it
that
off.
protects him somehow.
I mean, it looks like
Catch is going to like at first start resisting a little bit to the
I
back
take
of
a
the neck.
break from my violin making just to walk by and see you guys trying to jam something and catch his neck.
Oh my god.
I'd be like, so what you guys doing?
We'll get there.
Just Catch trying
We're
to
showing the
get
Druid the
people
neck
off the
slot
back of his
first.
neck.
okay.
Okay.
The druid will confirm essentially what you know. It looks like an area where, like, a piece of shrapnel was lodged, and then Ketch kind of grew around it, and it just became a part of him.
That's what our Druid observed.
Yes. Yeah, she's looking at it more from a completely medical perspective,
Okay.
not knowing how Ketch works. Not really knowing how any of you work.
Except me.
Yeah, except you. Yeah, you
Well,
make sense.
I'm.
Can it be removed?
It's out.
Oh, it's.
Yeah.
Have we not shoved it back in to
Yes.
begin with?
Yeah, it didn't do anything.
Okay, I'm shoving an echo
Can it
shard
be
in.
put back in?
We've tried that.
We did.
Apparently, we took it back out.
I did shove it back in. It just popped back out.
The Ketch's shard you see is basically like a piece of black obsidian. But when you go to put in a new one, Ketch, are you going to try and rapidly attune to this?
I'm also finding one that's
If
of
that
similar
like
size.
by instinct, yeah.
Okay. So, Sarah, since you are putting in the first one, I would like you to please roll me a D100.
Okay. I wish I had that dice with me. It's so
Yeah.
nice.
Oh boy.
I've got a pair.
Oh, perfect.
Yes.
Okay. Tens.
Am I a robot that needs these
I
batteries?
did that wrong, but 74
Jacob,
technically.
you are forever
That's
the robot.
26. Fascinating. Okay. Catch.
I mean, technically, Jacob, if you think about it, you just lost your memory card. We're replacing it.
That's fair.
As you are immediately trying to latch onto this stone, it seems to. It almost seems like when you push yourself upon it, it feels like falling into cold water. Like you have broken through a sheet of ice that covers the surface of a river, and you're just kind of swimming and trying to catch yourself around it. As for everyone around, you see as the campfire flickers at the center of the town, or at the center of the camp. The shadows that kind of get cast and thrown out towards the woods as the sun is beginning to set, they kind of begin to creep around as a small mist that kind of begins to circle around Ketch at different parts and just kind of snake up around him and just roll around him. While you are holding on to this Ketch, this is a shard of the shadow form. You have advantage on stealth checks while you are attuned to it.
Oh! That's nice. Catch?
Oh, okay.
Oh no, did my thing go? Nope, it's still going.
Okay.
It doesn't do anything else.
Wait, we didn't give his smartness back? Dang it.
He just is
Yeah.
stealthier.
He's stupid but sneaky.
Stupid but sneaky. How'd you know my high school nickname? Okay. I think Catch is like just instinctively like at first tried to resist, but as soon as like familiar feeling like essentially got lodged in, is essentially just trying to activate its full effect, like all at once. I don't know what that looks like. Is that just like him being covered by shadows? Does he like blend into the floor more?
It's sort of like this. Instead of having a slight glow about yourself, it's just a slight darkness. Just everything around you is a little bit more muted.
Essentially, Catch is going to immediately try clawing
It's pill time.
it back out of his neck.
Okay.
I'll just
As the stone kind of falls and
I'll just take that back.
He's gonna just like Catch is now having a fit once again, and like just hitting the floor like full force with like both hands, just on.
I'm going to put my hands under the pot. I'm going to put my hands where you're hitting. It hurts, but I'd rather you not hit your hands on the floor.
Catch just slowly like lets up as soon as you like start cushioning the flow. Just goes gone, it's gone, and continues on the floor again.
How about something from the Feywild?
that. Sure.
In this episode, what can we put in this orc's neck?
Will the salt shaker fit?
No. It will not. I mean, the
Catch
slight
every
needle-like tip
salt.
of it, you can kind of get in there and feel the bone and kind of scratch it that
I
way.
don't want to do that.
Can, not...
Oh my god. Oh my god, okay. This has gone in a direction I never expected it to. Okay? I just really did.
That yes.
I really did.
Yeah.
Alright,
Um, will an ethereal spindle fit?
No, that's way too big.
okay. What is the circumference of this hole? Like,
Will
is
a
it like
wooden
an
mouse
inch
toy
around?
fit?
Is it a quarter? Is it a dime? Is it a penny?
Babe,
The wood mouse toy would probably fit.
it's from the Feywild. It's magical.
It's about the size of the shard.
Okay.
It seems to have fit the one that Ketch had basically perfectly.
Okay. So you do know that I found the shard and I brought it back with me, right?
Yes.
We're gonna go get coffee. We'll be right back.
Okay.
So I have it as like, okay, why don't we try? Is there any way for me to tap into data or information that may or may not be stored on this crystal?
Okay. You can certainly try. How would you go about doing that?
Let me think about it for a minute.
Did Ketch's flash drive have a factory reset?
Maybe.
Wombus.
She doesn't know what to do. Her humans have left.
Oh.
What? Did someone talk to me? Cause I've
I
lost.
don't know. I'm trying to figure, like, okay, this crystal is obviously his brain. It's his memories, or his information, or his intelligence. It's something that his brain uses to function with. So obviously, it's either got stored information, or it's something
That's
that connects
sad, but
his brain.
understandable.
It's something that connects his brain to his body. Those are the only two things I can think of that it is. So either we need to find a way to take information off this and put it onto a new one, or to fix the one we have. That's it.
Why don't you
So-
start showing us around to people in the camp?
Those are the only two things I can think of we can do with it. So I start asking around, does anybody have a greater restoration spell?
You would be able to find someone who can cast Greater Restoration, yes.
Okay. So can you restore this to its previous state before it was messed up?
That's... I can certainly try, but like, that sort of magic is usually dealt for healing creatures.
I understand, but this is important.
Okay.
Okay.
They will go ahead and cast the spell on the shard. And it does not seem to work. It seems like you are holding a piece of black glass. And it's just not reacting to anything. If you're going for the computer metaphor, this is basically in hibernate mode.
Honestly, same here.
Or a wipe drive.
Yeah, or a wipe drive. Hard to tell the difference.
I say we wait for Drawage.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
We might break him even more.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Oh, you put it in the rest
Um. Relatives.
I no longer know what to do.
Okay.
Ooh,
Hey, wait.
Okay.
Okay. I have an idea.
I'd like.
You go first.
Okay.
If you got, yeah.
I'd like to start looking through this book I got from the Beholder. Book
Oh,
about Arcana rituals.
that's interesting.
Okay.
That's cool.
Where did you come from?
I
I'm so
forget.
sorry. My cat came out of nowhere. I do not know where he came from.
Ah,
And if nothing's in there, we're going to the Sylvan book about the plains.
Okay.
hmm.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check for the first book.
My family was.
Investigation. Okay. Okay, that's not great. 9.
The beholder knew nothing about the nature of these shards, anything.
Okay.
And it didn't write anything about it down.
Okay.
So, the Sylvan book about the plains.
Let's try that one.
Okay. Investigation.
Oh.
5.
No. A lot of that book deals with modern interpretations, modern understandings, recent discoveries about the nature of cosmology. It either catches anything that's related to what Ketch has here is esoteric or it's old,
Okay.
and sometimes those are one and the same.
Well, that's worth a shot. Tsubaki, you're up.
Okay, so I had a crazy idea. So if this thing is like your brain, you just need a download of information, right? To at least get you on your feet.
Okay.
We have an entire
Where
book
did you come from?
filled
Is there another one?
with his writing, right? Is there any way we can use magical script to download it onto a new Echo Shard or this one and put it back in and see if that boosts anything?
Like a file transfer?
Yeah. So I know it was a crazy freaking idea.
I think
But-
if you're going to try something like that, you'd need to figure out how to connect to the Echo Shard in this inert state.
Okay. I could try this. I mean, I've been working with them.
Okay.
I figured I'd have a good attunement. So, what I'm gonna go do is I'm gonna go back into my cave where I've been doing my violin, and I'm gonna reshape using the same fire technique on the shard to make it the similar size as the one I saved from Catch as I can. Can I do this?
You're going to redo what?
I'm going to create another shard just in case the one that's broken doesn't end up working. We're going to create another shard that's the same size as Catch's. So that if it's maybe a problem with it being burnt out, I'll have an extra spare to think about.
We're making batteries.
You
No,
can do
we're-
you can get one that's similar, but it's not. It is
Okay.
very much not perfect.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to transfer it onto the old one first.
One thing that you would notice as you're doing this and trying to actively chip at shards, when you get pieces that fleck off of the main body of the shard, they just immediately turn to that black glass, that obsidian style, just inert.
Alright. So basically, when it runs out of energy, it dies.
As most things do.
So maybe I need to give this thing an energy boost using 2 shards, like between 2 shards, like a battery charger.
Can we jumper cable?
Mary, I swear to God, I'm going to.
I was quiet though.
Yeah, and then you scared me. Sorry.
Can we jumper cable?
Okay, so
Are we on the
I don't know
right
how
track?
would we. So these echo shards obviously have energy of some sort in it, right? So what this one is lacking is energy, right? So I know I seem like I'm grasping at straws, but
No,
I
it's
feel
fine.
like okay, I would okay. I'm gonna try touching the catches shard with a currently working shard. Does it do anything?
No.
Okay. Can I create musical notes to transfer energy from one thing to another?
How would you go about doing that?
Well, if I'm gonna say it's gonna be something like electricity or lightning, right? So I definitely want to tap into the Echo Shard's energy. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to see if I can use the current Echo Shards that I have and try to tap in and understand the energy source. Okay? That's what I want to do now. Because if I'm gonna go into this, I might as well be thorough before I actually do something.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I start focusing on it, meditating, I guess.
Okay.
Trying to see if I can feel anything from it.
It feels right now like a rock.
Okay. So I'm gonna start playing far call notes, just one at a time, lightly, not like intensely like I normally do, just one at a time, and see what kind of reaction I get out of the energy.
Okay. What sort of notes do you play?
I stick with like basic notes like C, D, and then I go into the far call, like I don't even know if far call is an emotional thing. I'd start off with things like happy, sad, or I'd go in and see how each of the different far call translations react to the crystal. There we go.
Okay. Did you see the document that I put in chat?
We're in chat.
It's a while back. There is a list of different things that you can do as a feat that you learned at the bottom.
I do not remember seeing that.
Okay, well, it is something that you can do, that you have learned to do through your extensive trainings here.
Is it one you gave me today, or
I
or
did post.
what?
I posted it at like 5 o'clock in the morning, so
5
it's
o'clock in the
fair that you might have missed it. You slept like a normal human being, and
I only went to bed 2 hours before that.
Can't
Don't
relate.
worry.
Can't relate.
Um, mm, did you send it to me personally, or did you send it to me through?
it's in the chat.
It's in the chat.
Okay. Just making sure.
There is a reply that says here. That'll take you right there.
Oh.
It's in a hyperlink.
Ah, okay.
Scroll down past the chroma orb stuff.
As for the whole thing, oh. So for your research into Farkall language, it has granted you the feat of Voice of the Farkall.
Yes, and it's described on a Google Doc.
Oh,
Which
okay.
that message
That
will
was
link
the
to.
okay. No, okay, that's the chroma orbs.
Scroll past that.
It's a 4-page
Sorry.
document.
I
The
am
rules
being
for
very,
orbs are only 2 pages.
I am being very slow.
It's okay.
Ginger, leave it. I'm sorry, my brain is kind of left at this point. I'm really.
What's a brain?
Me too.
We
Catch
are
doesn't
getting, I
have one.
think, pretty close to a finishing point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I'm still freaking lost.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm lost as hell. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm in a maze in the dark, and I can't find myself
Okay.
to save my life, which I might need to.
Desi?
Sorry, I don't know what the hell I'm looking for. Okay,
Voice of
And
the
what
farm
about the
call.
game?
I
It's
know.
in the
Okay,
outline.
I see the name, but I didn't see any link or attachment to it.
It's in blue.
I swear to you, I didn't see it. Okay,
Do you still not see it?
I see it now. I definitely see it now. Yeah. Ooh. I'm reading. Shut up, Mary. Shut up.
That should not have been hard.
Different ideas, materials, manifestations, inspiration, learning. Okay. What the heck? Oh, okay. There's a lot to read here.
It's basically what you were wanting to do, trying
Oh.
to imbue your bardic inspirations with extraterrestrial melodies.
All right. Okay. So basically, I'm going through each of these and trying to figure out which one is working.
You're going through every one?
Nope. I'm gonna start with the one that says restoration. Literally, I see it right down at the bottom, like restoration. Might want to start there. So yeah, I'm gonna start with the one called restoration.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I start playing this alien language melody of some sorts. And then I come across this restoration, and I'm like, okay, let's see what this does.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a performance check.
All right. Performance. Okay. So I got a 13.
Okay. You begin playing this melody. It's familiar to you, and then it slowly begins to have slightly more dissonant bass notes as they begin to percolate through the harmonies and melodies. You, having gone through different bits of the music and the melodies, you have begun to kind of recognize and figure out ways to harmonize and to work with, not necessarily against, the strange nature of these sounds. As you are playing, you notice that the shards around you that have blue pulsing glows on the kind of coming from deep within them, they begin to ripple and undulate on each of the surfaces, preserving the cracks and facets of the lines around them. You see the small motes of glowing light on the inside beginning to vibrate and pulse every once in a while, rhythmically, kind of just in tune and in synchronization with your song. Ketch's stone does not do this. Roll me a wisdom saving throw, Tsubaki.
Okay. I got a 13.
Okay, that is a failure.
Okay.
Go ahead and expend 1 die of bardic inspiration.
All right.
As you kind of get to a point in the melody, you close your eyes.
I got a 6.
Okay.
So 13 plus 6.
Okay. As you're kind of getting through the melody, there are points in which you just kind of close your eyes and open them, just kind of moving in tune with the music. But one time when you do, you kind of, upon hitting a crescendo, hitting a high point in the melody, and a level of disturbance by the call, you open your eyes and there is nothing around you. It is pure black.
Oh shit. Okay.
What do you do?
Crap. I let go of the note.
Okay. It seems to kind of vibrate in space, just going out seemingly endlessly in every direction. Forever. Just seems to hold and maintain before slowly fading with time.
Well, in the middle of a nowhere situation, right?
Yep.
I do the one thing that Tsubaki would always do in a situation. I yell at the top of my lungs, "Hello! Is anybody there?"
It begins just echoing around. And you do not hear any response.
Huh. Well, that's interesting. Well, Yeah, I'm drawing blanks right now. I think I've used up my creativity on trying to get Ketch's brain to work. Okay, I'm gonna start playing different versions of all the different melodies to see if one of them can pull me back to where I was.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity check.
Dexterity. Okay.
D20 plus dexterity.
I got a 12.
Okay. As you are moving around in this area, you feel yourself almost brush up against something. It just seems to kind of dangle from the ether of darkness above. Just a small, almost thread that just floats past you. And for the briefest moment that it touches you, there's just a shock of blue. And it seems as though everything around you is one moment. It is experiencing decades of information in the snap of a fingers. And with that, you wake up. You kind of come to outside of the shard, and just kind of looking back down at it.
I think I was inside of Ketch's brain. I really do. I think I was inside of his brain.
Is that the shard he's referring to?
So I tell them what happened. I want their input, so I'm going to tell them exactly what happened. I went into a void of darkness, and I touched the thread, and I felt a lot of information. So it's like, it's still there, I just can't access it.
Odd.
Relatable.
Yeah, but...
That's the first word Ketch has spoken since he broke.
I know.
It's not like it's not. Is he not?
Is there any way... So, wasn't it the Eye of Ren that supposedly caused this?
I don't know.
Okay.
You do not know what the source of this affliction
Okay.
was.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it again. I'm going to go back in. I'm gonna do it exactly the way I did the first time. Okay? And see if I can get back to that space.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a performance check.
Okay. Performance. Yeah, there it is. I got a natural 20 plus 9.
Okay.
So how does this happen? You know?
Go ahead and mark off another die of bardic inspiration.
Okay.
Okay. As you begin playing the melody again,
You realize that plus 9 wasn't... I was like just a natural roll.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah. It's great. As you begin playing the melody, you find yourself willing yourself to go back to this space, having seen it for but a glimpse, a brief moment. Now, with something to focus your intent upon, you push. You target, you align your mind, you begin hitting the same notes, a little bit faster sequence. And upon reaching that same part of the melody, black, all in the void. There is nothing around you. The sound of the
Alright.
music echoes in every direction.
Alright.
I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
If I end up in Tsubaki's body, I swear.
I got a 12.
12.
Let's
Okay.
say we try to go follow her. Does she just flat out disappear?
No, she just kind of.
It's like astral projecting, I feel like. My mind goes there.
It's more than anything, it's sort of. All of this is happening in a split second. It's
Oh.
Oh.
existing outside of the bounds of time.
Oh.
It's. What seems like minutes for you are moments.
Alright.
So, Tsubaki,
Okay.
what do you do in this space?
I'm gonna go look for the thread. I'm looking around and I'm hoping to brush into one of the threads.
Okay. There's a couple floating around. You see a total of 3.
Okay.
Faintly
I'm doing-
silver.
Can I gather them together at all? Are they like close together, far away?
There are 2 that seem closer. You can see as you approach, it's this faint silver thread that seems to be almost made of stars, but it begins to fray towards one end.
Alright. I grab one and
Okay.
I grab another
Okay.
and I start holding them together between my hands, like I'm trying to attach them. And then I sing this note of restoration and see what does.
As you reach out and touch the first thread, Jacob,
Yes.
please, in the flash of an eye through this almost bubbling blue energy that seems to kind of just course through your mind, Tsubaki, you see the following thing. Jacob, please narrate for us. Please tell us a brief story from Ketch's life about a month or 2 after the incident where he found the shard.
Okay. Immediately, almost like a third-person camera, you see like Ketch slowly drawing diagrams in this very rudimentary tent. Like that is breaking down. There's like a leak and a pot next to it, and is drawing diagrams for wood housing, like a general basis idea of better architecture for living. Immediately flash just into another memory where this is being presented to an older orc, where Ketch is trying to explain something. Can't really tell the words, but it feels like trying to explain. And immediately flash forward again to Ketch looking bruised and bloodied, in some type of holding cell. Like that's not made of iron, not made of like anything. It's like a big pit. And on the top of the pit, there's just wood spikes facing downward. And then flash forward again to Ketch's room. All the notes gone. And that's it.
As you see all of the notes gone, it kind of almost overlines with the image of Ketch with his notes there, and you watch as the notes begin to crumble and fall apart into a black dust that evaporates into the space around you. This smoke that twirls upward into everything, and you see it almost begin to reach out. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Me?
Yep.
Perception.
Or insight.
Let me see. Yeah, they're the same. I got a 16.
Okay. You see it begin to resemble a dark star that begins to kind of just form and float in the air. Just a star of smoke that exists above all of this, as then you are immediately shunted outward.
Okay. Is there any visible difference to the gemstone?
There is not yet.
Alright, I'd like to go and try this a couple more times and see if I can reattach a few more threads.
Okay. So for the sake of narrative purposes, please go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw with advantage.
So I got a 10.
Okay.
That was my advantage. The other one was a 3.
Oof. Okay. You're able to find a total of 3 threads.
Okay.
2 of them you manage to kind of be able to bridge, and you get different glimpses into Ketch's life. Moments. The third thread that you find is different. When you brush past it, when you find it, when you embrace it, it's dark. The silver threads that kind of seem to fray towards the end almost seem to pull you up, push you around, and you feel as though everything around you is swirling, as though caught in a whirlwind.
Sorry, I missed a little bit of that. My mom came up and told me something, and I had to pause it.
As you feel this thread, as you find this thread, it seems to just kind of push you in every direction. Winds strong, a swirling vortex around you. As you feel almost pulled back, and you feel yourself floating a little bit more in a space and a void, and you see a large crystalline shard hovering in the air. A large circular dais on the ground above a seemingly infinite hole as it just thrums and holds there. You see pulses of blue energy, electricity sparking within this shard. And then you're immediately pulled back out. Go ahead and roll me one more wisdom saving throw for your last attempt with advantage.
20! Not natural, but 20.
Hey.
That is enough. The DC was 20.
Wow. It wasn't a natural, but it was 20.
That's okay.
Yes.
Okay. So as you feel the frustration of being thrown out again, you find yourself with renewed vigor and determination.
Yep.
Facing the void. Returning. Jacob, what are some more personal things about Ketch that Tsubaki can see in this moments of almost electric shock that passed through their vision? Just experiencing highs and lows of Ketch's experience in the wild and learning his place within the world.
There is almost an instant flash of like just 5 years still in that same like village, slowly getting older, but able to learn different magics. Then flash to just middle of forest, like down, like super skinny, just crumpled in a ball. Then flash forward some more with this group of robed people who all look so much taller compared to very short Catch. To Catch, now looking healthy, um, currently hunting deer with a fireball or with a like blast. Then forward again to Catch in a town, just looking around, like marveling at just the city itself. Forward to Catch on the in like a back alley, bleeding out, covering a wound while reading through his book. Forward again to a more grizzled Catch in a different city with a big fluffy scarf, the same scarf he usually wears now, and now in a hood, sort of just walking as a normal person. Forward again to a map laid out from a tavern owner, pointing to a city, and that city is the main city of the continent with, all thing. I forget the name of it. Sorry.
Been a while.
Arungar, the city of
Yeah,
mages,
Erika.
the eye of the world.
Yeah. Then Catch fast forwards past a long, long time to going into a tavern, sitting down
This seems familiar.
next to uh, a less than scrupulous looking figure and ordering a milk. And that's probably going to be it.
Present time, all accounted for.
Yeah.
As you are seeing these flashes of Catch's life in between as like bits of electricity spark and flash around you. You look as they illuminate into the sky as figures wandering in this dark void. Long, lanky, long faces that seem to draw up into teardrop shaped areas with spindly points that seem to be covered in roaming sands. Just looking down, watching, and you see as the threads and the whirlwinds and the vortexes all rotate around and catch you and Catch, just being swirled and becoming interspersed and intertwined with them until you see yourself standing in a place from Catch's memory, and you see the rest of you wandering around a temple. You see areas where it has broken down at different areas. But you also see areas where those same broken down parts have been fused together, where they are whole, and you see this large thrumming gemstone, and you see these creatures. They seem to be kneeling before it. Blue electricity forming sigils on their minds, and you watch as sand rotates around each of their forms in different patterns, sigils, undulating sands that just form and change melodically, rhythmically. And you see a figure kind of standing there, almost conductor-like, orchestrating everything. About ready to cast a spell. You see them reaching out, tracing glyphs and sigils in the air. Subaki, how many spell levels do you expend in this moment?
Can I expend 2 level 3s?
Sure thing.
Okay.
You watch
two-
as this magic begins to almost permeate and rotate. I need you to make a DC 16 Constitution saving throw.
DC 16?
Yep.
Okay.
Roll high.
And you did say a D16, right?
Yes. Meet or beat it.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't beat it. I got a 5.
Okay. You watch as the spell seems to crumble, and the beings of sand and ash begin to evaporate all around you. You watch as the stone itself vibrates and explodes, shattering it across space and time.
Oh my god.
And you
I
find
think I
yourself thrown backwards from Ketch's
shit.
gem.
Okay, guys, I'm really sorry. I do have to go.
This is the final moment.
I think we're
Okay,
wrapping up
okay.
here.
I that's why I said it.
Did you just permanently break Kent?
I think we just broke Jacob!
I have been spaced out for a while
I'm
now.
kind of upset about this because I was really trying.
As soon as
Zace-
Ketch gets to, Ketch is gonna set a reminder for himself to like set a hey, if you were hearing this, then you're in my mind.
Zace, roll me a perception check.
Wait, why? I'm so confused. Oh
Zace
boy,
and
I've
Zagra.
been listening this whole time, but oh boy, I am like my brain after
Oh,
8:30
no.
just goes to sleep. I am confused. Wait, perception?
Perception.
What are we doing? What's going on? I got an 18 plus 5.
12.
And
Okay,
we're doing the
That's
math.
the
That's
best one's this
23.
cool. Jacob, go ahead and roll me a d12
Okay.
and
We
add
fighting
6 to it.
Jacob?
And add 6 to it?
Yes.
14.
Okay.
What just
You see the
what the-
stone thrumming with energy. A blue light pulsing from the crystal. From the magic that was given, the spells that were cast. Zace,
Oh, hello.
you see the stone fine, but you saw Subaki thrown back almost forcefully from it. And as you look over to her,
Hmm?
roll me a medicine check.
Medicine check. Medicine check.
Uh-oh.
Wait, wrong dice. I'm so I just rolled a D. What is this? 12. It's brain. Okay. 6 plus 2.
Okay. There is no pulse, no breathing.
Oh boy. Oh.
For all intents and purposes that you can see, Subaki is dead.
Okay, never mind. I might not be in
Oh.
Desi's mind. Desi might be in mine.
This did not go the way I expected it. Just saying. Just saying.
6 spell levels.
Oh, shit. Who
Mm.
casted You
God
hit
damn
6
wisdom
levels of
saving
exhaustion!
Wait,
You
what?
just hit 6 levels of exhaustion because
Yeah,
you had to make a
that's what-
constitution saving throw.
And I lost. God
I think
damn
that's
it,
where we're
dude.
gonna call it for tonight.
You're dead!
Okay.
You're actually dead!
I am excited to pick this up next time. I will see y'all next week.
Bye, guys.
Goodbye. Good night. I gonna need a recap because
Yeah.
I might have to go listen to the last 10 minutes of this.
yeah, me too. I think I'll do that because I've fallen asleep. I can't. I said
All right,
so much.
bye.
Bye.